everything, start the recording, and switch screens. Alright, guys, welcome back to what is, if I have my numbers correctly, this is our 30th session of Arcadia, big 3-0.
Hey,
I just have a couple quick announcements, and then we can just sort of jump right in. First off, as I've probably been beating a dead horse, I will be at PAX West, and I will be running an in-real-life game, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, just sort of watch my Twitter, and hopefully you can come have a good time. Or, hell, if you want to meet me or whatever, and it's not like you're going to axe murder me. I am open up to meeting people. The other quick announcement I have is that today will be more than likely a short session and a two-parter, both because I still have to pack for PAX and because some of our players have to split a little bit early. We'll probably be ending somewhere around about 5 p.m. or a little bit about an hour and 45 minutes from now. So we'll see how far we get and see if we can find a good stopping point. But with that said, I think we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, hey.
hey, there's Hyde.
So I'm actually just going to jump into today's personal log to sort of kick the session off. So, if you will imagine, Lieutenant Sin, as you all well and know her, sitting down at her personal terminal in her quarters, and she says, Sin's personal log, stardate 50990.7. Starfleet wasted no time in sending us out to patrol the Cardassian demilitarized zone once we reached Starbase 2 and 1. Not like they had a choice. DS9 was taken mere weeks ago, and the Federation is doing all it can to shore up its borders against the Dominion and the coming war. Thankfully, our patrol thus far has been without incident, but knowing our luck, that's probably going to change very quickly. I've been of two minds about staying aboard the Arcadia. On one hand, I've served with this crew for several years now, and they're just as much as family as the family I have back on Kronos. And I know that if I were to disappear, if I were to leave, I'd be taking away one of their best tactical officers, and it would be a huge blow to both operations and morale. On the other hand, I don't want to be anywhere close to this part of space. I signed up for exploration and peacekeeping, not to throw my life away into what I'm sure is going to be a bloody war machine within a very short time span. I've stayed alive these 300 or so years by knowing when to leave, yet this is the hardest choice I've had to make. I've got about a week or two before my decision is more or less finalized for me. I'm not going to drag my pupil Terra into this, and I think it's best that whatever I decide is for me and me alone. I just hope that history will show that it was the right call. Computer, please end personal log and encrypt with a decaying epsilon key, authorization SYN Delta 5. Computer chirps, and we cut right to our first actual scene. So, as the players have been requesting, we are going to be doing the Klein versus Crowley fight on the holodeck. So, let me go ahead and switch screens here. So, as everyone gathers in the holodeck, of course, Klein and Crowley are there. Sin is the second of Klein, unless Klein wanted a different second. Crowley, Hylung showed up just for you, in case you wanted her as a second. And then I would imagine Bryn's there on principle, so that he can gruffly, say, "What the hell are you idiots doing? Why are you doing this to me? I'm not good with the words."
Sounds about right.
But would anyone else want to be present in the holodeck? And also, I need to know whether or not this fight is being broadcasted across the ship, and what format you guys are having. Like, are you boxing? Are you wrestling? Are you sword fighting? What's the play here?
I believe when Krell and I were discussing this before, we were just going to do like a tavern brawl, from what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so straight out dirty fighting.
Okay.
Hyde is going to make absolute sure that it's being broadcast to every corner of the ship.
Very good.
Audio, video, everything.
Just hoping it's better than that Logan Paul whatever
Oh god.
BS boxing match.
Oh, God.
And I will say that you'll notice that rather than being in standard uniform, he's oddly enough for a fight, Klein is actually dressed in like a black suit and tie.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Question, though, that just occurred to me. When we say tavern brawl, are we literally going to materialize, like, tavern tables and bar glasses and...
Yes.
Oh yeah, like a London
Oh.
pub, basically.
Okay, well, I wish I'd known that. I could have thrown on a map. Oh, well, we'll just have to use our imaginations.
Yeah, it's fine.
So yeah, you load up the program, and sure enough, all around you in the holodeck becomes a standard London pub. You've got the big old wooden bar. You've got a bunch of glasses and bottles behind the bar. There's a few glasses of varying liquids that are on the tables themselves. There are no patrons, just you guys. And I would say there's more than enough tables and glasses and throwable objects, should you so wish. And once everything is materialized and once everyone is, squaring off against one another, Hylong just sort of steps in between you all and says, "All right, gentlemen, I was going to say I wanted a nice clean fight, but I don't think we're going to get that here, so whichever one of you pisses off Bryn the most is more than likely going to be the loser. Gentlemen, do you have anything to say to your opponent before we begin?"
Crowley will just grab whatever drink's on the counter, if there is one,
Okay.
and just take a sip, and puts it down. Like, nope, I'm good to go.
I just simply loosen my tie a little bit.
Right then, gentlemen, I'm just going to back up out of the way, and Hylong kind of slinks away out of the range of any projectiles. And she says, "Computer, please give us a countdown from 10, 9, 8, etc., etc. And I need you two to actually roll me initiative because,
Hey.
we can't do, which player goes first because obviously you both want to go first. So, the way we're going to do initiative is I'm just going to say whoever rolls the better fitness security will be the one who goes first. It's an opposed at difficulty 1.
Gotcha.
And hand-to-hand combat would apply here as a focus if you got it.
Please tell me that the safety protocols are on.
Hylong looks over at you, Bryn, and says, you might want to check that.
I don't know. How do I check that? Somebody check it for me.
Well, if you'll follow me to this panel over here, and Hylong kind of goes over to part of the bar and pops open a hatch, and it's the stereotypical behind the mirror or behind the mask type thing where you're seeing a Federation panel, and she goes through it and says, "Yeah, looks like the safeties are on."
Bryn just sort of nods like he pretends that he knows what she's talking about. Oh, okay. Good.
Well, shit.
All right. Well, Klein, you have an interesting way of starting a fight. I don't suppose you want to give me threat for that complication.
I will gladly give you threat for that complication.
Okay, cool. In any case, Crowley, I believe you're going to go first, and just to keep us all honest, I'm going to put this table back on the screen, and I'm going to zoom in so people can actually see it on the stream. But basically, we're going to go until one of you has an injury that is unavoidable. And by that I mean, you can basically soak one injury using your determination, but any injuries after that are going to bring you down for the count. But Crowley, you're up first here, buddy.
All right. I'm just going to full-on charge at him.
Okay.
And, see, I guess I'm just going to go and try and go for a full-on charge and bring him down to the ground.
Okay. I believe that is going to be a melee attack, so that's going to be a daring security from both of you. It's opposed at difficulty 1.
Daring and security.
And hand-to-hand combat, so that's my focus.
Yep.
Okay, there's one from Crowley.
Klein's right above me.
Oh, well.
So that's 2 for me.
Yes, which means, Klein, you're actually going to get an attack in, so if you could describe what you do for your attack as Crowley comes bum rushing at you.
Alrighty. So as soon as he starts charging to me, I actually just pull off the tie after I've loosened it and wrap it around the side of his head and slam it down against the bar.
Okay.
See, because that'll be, I think, 5 challenge dice, right?
Let's see. Your security is what, 4?
Correct.
Yeah, then unarmed is going to be 5. Did you take mean right hook?
I did.
Well, then I believe that gives you vicious. I'm pretty
Yes, it
sure.
does.
And Crowley, this is
Mhm.
this is quite a blow. This is a 9 damage blow. So unless you spend your determination here, you're down.
Uh, let's see. So I want to use. Yeah, I'll use my determination.
Okay.
Also, question: since I rolled 2 successes for initiative, do I have a momentum?
You know what? That's a fair thing to ask. Yes, let's have you each track your own momentum. So you would both have 1 at the moment.
Okay.
Excellent.
So there's just draw 1. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So just remember, even if you spend determination to avoid the injury, you still take the 9 stress damage.
Oh, there it is. Do-do-do. There you go.
All right. So Crowley, you are slammed into this bar. It is surprising. You were not expecting such speed and dexterity from Klein, but he apparently is having none of your bullshit. But it is now Klein's turn to act, even though
Yep.
he literally just wailed on you. He now gets to wail on you a little bit more.
See, now if I took I can use my minor action to aim with an unarmed strike. Is that accurate or no?
I would say you could cock your fists back and try to square up on him. Sure.
All right. And that I'm trying to remember. That's I can reroll damage, correct?
Reroll 1 dice on your attack, if I remember correctly. I'll look it
Okay.
up. But I'm
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
sure it's 1 on your attack. Let's just go with that, and since my PDFs are loading slow for whatever
Sure.
reason.
All right. In that case, on my attack, I'm just gonna go basically for like essentially just a cold cock right to the nose,
Okay.
and I'm going to use one of my determination here.
Not your momentum, determination. There is a difference.
Yes, determination. I'm going to use determination for no stranger to violence to get 2 successes.
Okay. So that's 2 automatic successes. Crowley, it is still an opposed melee roll here.
Okay.
You have to beat quite a bit.
How much?
Well, let's see what Klein rolls, and then I'll let you know. Your number to beat is you have
4.
to roll 5 successes here. Otherwise, you're getting cocked cold.
Alright. So I want to use my momentum for cautious security.
Okay.
And let's see. And I can give you threat, right?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
This
I'm
is
going to give you
basically
a
my
ton of
way of
threat.
getting threat for the actual adventure.
I'm going to give you maximum threat.
Okay.
And I also want to use my intel.
I would say you get your number to beat goes down by 1.
Okay.
So you need to roll only 4 successes here.
But I'm still buying. What's the maximum amount of dice I can buy?
Maximum amount of dice you can roll is 5.
Alright.
And do I gain 3 momentum from that, or?
If you succeed, you will.
Okay, gotcha.
And I've announced my momentum for cautious so I can reroll if.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to put that there.
Jesus.
All right, so yeah, that's 5 successes. So Crowley, you actually get that momentum right back. And do you want to re-roll that 0?
Yes.
This is going about as well as I thought it would go. Okay, so yeah, Crowley, you get another momentum. Describe your retaliation strike on Klein here.
So as my head slams on the table there and I see him squaring up to bring his fist down, I quickly wrap my arm around his, grabbing his shoulder, and I come up, smashing my head, classically, against his head. And I'm staying straight up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage for unarmed.
That should be 5, I believe. Yes, 5.
All right.
Let's see, so that's 7. Okay, so stress. Where's that at? Here it is.
Should also be, yeah, the first bar, the blue bar.
Oh, should it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it auto syncs with the sheet, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. So, Crowley, yeah, you stand up tremendously and attempt to knock Klein off his feet, but he seems
Wait,
to...
do you have mean right hook, Crowley?
I don't.
Oh, so that's only 4.
That's
okay.
only 4, yeah. So,
Let
Klein,
me take some.
you take the hit well. I mean, it's close. I mean, it nearly gets you, but I mean, you tough it out, and you know, you're holding your own. At this point, it is Crowley's turn again. So go ahead and describe how you're going to be continuing your attack, and then go ahead and let's do your roll.
Well, first, fast recovery kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
My talent. I recover. I lose 1 stress.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is cautious security again.
Mm.
And I am going to do another move I like to do. I'm just going to slap both of his ears. I want to concuss him.
Okay.
And let's see, what's another thing he needs momentum for? And daring security.
Yep, daring security from both of you. And the number to beat is, well, you have to roll at least 1 success, but the onus is usually on the defender. So let's see what Crowley rolls, and then we'll see what Klein needs to roll.
Yep.
GM,
Yeah, what's up?
I'd like to give you maximum threat again.
Oh, God. I just want you to be aware that I am over 20 threat at the moment.
Yeah, that's as good.
And I also will say that I might start spending it to fuck with this fight. I'm just going to warn you now.
Okay.
Please do. I don't want to have 20 threat going into the problem that comes up.
I think it makes for an interesting episode where the GM has a massive pool of threat.
Oh, it's happened before. It's happened.
So yeah, 5 dice.
Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn around and spend that 5 threat you just gave me. I'm going to make your complication range 16 to 20.
Okay. And
Alright, let's see if that's 0. That's a complication.
but I spent cautious.
Alright, so re-roll that 0. Still a
That's another
complication.
Still a 6. Yeah.
All right, I'm spending my last momentum to get a second dice.
And
I mean,
I'm
a
gonna
third dice.
I'm gonna then just spend your one momentum because I'm gonna give you 5 threats so you can roll maximum dice.
Okay. Let's see. So that'll be 5.
Yep, you're gonna roll 5 dice for me. And the number to beat is Well, let's see what you roll and then we'll decide.
Oh wait, no, it's not my turn. So
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. Because of your complication, Crowley, this is going to be an ineffective strike for either of you. So,
Okay.
as you both try to, wail on the other person, try to slam them down or, concuss them, as it were, neither of you is able to get a good angle, and you just sort of whiff for a moment. You do that DBZ thing where you're like fighting midair and punches are going everywhere, and it's not really hitting, and everybody else is just like, well, this is a thing. But that is Crowley's second turn. Klein, it is now your go.
okay, let's see here. Minor action to aim,
Mm-hmm.
and then
keep forgetting minor action to aim.
And then I'm going to try and do the same thing Crowley did to me and box both of his ears.
Okay.
Let's see, so daring and security. 2d20. And applicable focus.
Okay, so that's 3 successes from Klein.
Okay.
So you need to get a 4 or better, Crowley. Otherwise, he will be hitting you.
Alright. I want to use this momentum for cautious again.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a counter, so I don't get anything else. Like, I don't get a minor to aim or anything like that.
I would say at this point, giving me threat, I'm literally just going to throw whatever threat you give me in favor of your opponent. You know, but for both of you, I should say. It's not just you. Anytime you guys give me threat at this point, I'm just going to throw it against you. So.
All right, but do I get the minor to aim?
Yeah. Well, no, because you were defending, so you do not get it. It's only on your turn that you get the aim.
All right. Bruh.
Oh, fuck.
Very nice. Very nice. So
Actually,
That
you
momentum
mind if
goes
I
like
try
that.
and re-roll that 5 just to see if it's another crit?
you certainly
Since
can.
I aimed.
This is your chance to crit fish.
Let's see here. So I just roll another daring security, which is 1d20, I guess? Or
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay, nope, so that's just 3.
Yep. All right. Well, it appears Crowley, you get another good hit in. So describe away.
Do I get a momentum?
You do get 1 momentum. Yes.
Yes. So as I go to clap his ears, he blocks mine. He goes to do the same to me. I block his. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change my stance. So left leg's closer to him, right leg's further back, and I'm going to pull back, and I'm just going to punch him right in the sternum.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
And yeah.
Still not enough to get me down.
Yeah. So it's a good hit. It's a solid hit. But again, Klein seems to be made of sterner stuff. Like, he takes the hit well.
Like, I'm not trying to kill him.
2, 3, 4.
And by this point, Heilung has gone into full commentator mode and goes, "Oh, what a lovely strike from Crowley. What do you think, Bryn? Was that a good hit or was that a bad hit? I don't know. What is your professional doctor opinion?"
I think this is the dumbest thing I've seen since I've come to Starfleet.
It's the dumbest thing, I agree, but isn't it grand to watch all the same?
Alright.
My turn?
So I believe it comes back around to the top of the initiative order, and this is a new turn for Crowley's fast recovery. And yeah, Crowley, it is your go.
Alright, I'm gonna grab a... Now, okay, Krav Maga is all about using things in your surrounding, right?
Uh-huh.
So grabbing a bar stool will still help with it?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm grabbing a bar stool and I'm gonna hit him right in the head with the cushion. Again, I'm trying to be nice to him.
No, the safeties are on. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, then yeah, I'll go right for the leg swing then. I'm gonna try and knock him down too.
Okay.
Before I do anything, cautious. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay. All right, so Klein, the magic number you need is a 3.
Alrighty. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to say, Crowley, that you picking up the bar stool is your minor action, so you can't aim.
I keep forgetting about aim.
Let's see, daring security.
Remember, you can't give me threat. I just will, mess with you a little bit with threat if you so choose.
Right.
I also will throw in for good measure, because I found this out on Friday. The captain can, at any point, calm into this fight and say, "Hey, you, do better," and give you his determination. Just so we all are on the same page.
Okay. Trying to figure out what I want to do here.
I just want to say it's really surprising how much the player Klein sounds like Connor from
Oh, yeah.
I love
Detroit Become Human over microphone.
I love
Sure. I'll give you a threat to get an extra d20.
All right, that means your complication range is now a 19 to 20.
Sure.
All right. I'm assuming. Well, this is your.
That 0 is a
defense.
complication.
Yep, that 0 is a complication. Do you have any way of getting rid of it?
The only way I could is by giving you more threat. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, I think we have to turn to the captain. Captain, are you intervening at all?
While I can watch this fight on the screen of my replicator thanks to Ensign Hyde, I'm just going to sit back and keep sipping my tea.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, Crowley, go ahead and roll me some damage. And I'm gonna say it's still gonna be 1, but it does have the knockdown effect on it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. So Klein, I believe that puts you over maximum stress. Yes.
I'm actually no, because I have 15 stress because of Resolute.
Ooh. Okay. So then you need to deal with this injury you're getting for 5 damage.
Yeah. Let's see.
And I don't think there's any way of avoiding you going prone.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way of me going prone. Could I possibly? Because it says I can avoid injury by suffering a complication.
Mm-hmm.
Could the complication possibly be that I don't get to use my minor action to aim? Maybe? Or just use my minor action at all?
I would say that is, to me, sounds like an acceptable trade-off. It will be one of those things where the ferocity of the fight is ramping up, so you don't have time to carefully line up your strikes. It's literally turning into a frenzy.
Alright, sure. I'll go with it.
Okay. All right. So in that case, Crowley, would you like to describe how hard this bar stool hits?
It's going for on his let's see if I can have so it's going to hit on his right side, his hip. It's going right for the hip. And I'm going to try and knock him down with it, or if he's not going to knock that, I'm going to slide him a bit with it.
Well, he is indeed knocked down, but not out. And
I have all of 2 stress left right now.
hey, that's all you need. And as you do hit him with the bar stool, it splinters into pieces, and they fly everywhere. And Hylon goes, "Whoa, would you look at that? They've moved on to melee weapons. Bryn, what would you say is the best melee weapon to use in this situation?"
Clearly the glass bottles.
You heard him, folks. Someone pick up a glass bottle.
Alrighty, so then it's to me here.
Yep.
He's getting... Well, because getting up, would that be my entire action?
That would be, I believe, your minor, but let's double check.
But since I don't have one...
You'd have to give me a threat to get or is it 2 threat to get a second
extra minor action is 1.
All right, so yeah, you'd have to give me 1 threat in order to do it.
Yeah, I'll give you the threat in order to get up.
Yeah, and it would be your minor to do so. All right, so
That's fine.
Let's see. So your next task is automatically going to be 19 to 20, but yeah, what are you doing?
Heeding Bryn's advice, I'm going to attempt to grab Crowley's head and try and smash it like Joker from the Dark Knight style against one of the glass bottles on the bar.
Okay, I like it.
Jesus.
Go ahead and roll me your daring security.
And I'm definitely giving you another threat to buy a dice.
Okay, that means your complication range is now 18 to 20.
Fine by me.
All right, that's 3 successes. Crowley, you need to show me 4.
Where's your momentum now, Crowley?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I don't want to give you threat either. So, you're just, if I, I can't use threat for cautious because it needs momentum.
Clearly, you should switch to bold.
Yeah. Just for this fight. Let's see. And I can't do anything with my values, can I?
You can challenge a value, which means you have to literally cross it out and replace it with a new one. And that would give you a point of determination back. But you got to justify what the hell you're challenging. You can't just like cross out a random one. It's got to apply.
Let's see. I can't do no stranger to violence.
No.
First to take a hit and last to leave. Crowley wants to leave first.
No. No.
No, voice of the crew. I'm kicking his ass right now.
Nah.
I think that's a tough one to try and justify.
Yeah.
And then the last one is serving Starfleet as family tradition.
Not
Yes.
sure how that would
It is
come
family
close.
tradition to hit each other with bar stools.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can challenge any of those.
All right.
Then I'm going to give you threat.
How much?
Well, I need to roll a 4 or higher, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to roll for 5.
All right. Then your
Jesus.
complication range 16 to 20.
Alright. Clyde, you've done this. Focus. And I don't have a way to re-roll any of this. Damn it.
Complications. Complications.
Ooh.
1 complication,
2 complications.
2 complications.
So, Klein, I'm going to give you an option here, and I'm going to say this before the damage roll. You can either use those 2 complications to add the knockdown effect and 1 straight damage to your roll,
Okay.
or I'm already going to count the bottle as vicious 1, but I will allow you to do vicious 2.
Ooh.
So it's either
So
going to
those
be
2 options.
Yeah, so it's either going to be vicious 2 or knockdown and flat +1.
I'm going for vicious 2 here.
Okay.
So that's another 5 challenge dice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's going to be a total of 9. So Crowley, have you exceeded your max stress?
Yeah.
All right, in that case, that's 2 injuries, and I believe that unless the captain chips in and tells Crowley, well, no, because you would still have 2 injuries, so I think you're down for the count. So Klein, would you care to describe just how hard Crowley falls?
It's essentially more of like just like a very quick slam
Captain's type.
down into the table,
Captain's not helping.
and then I simply just straighten my tie and I walk out.
Nice. So, Crowley, you are left dazed on the pseudo bar floor, and Heilung says, "My God, that man had a family at some point." I think.
Dead. They're dead.
Oh,
I don't know, Bryn. What do you think of that? I think it's a satisfactory end to our little contest here.
I get up and go in to check on Crowley.
Okay.
I lean over him as I take the got a hypo spray in one hand. I've got the medical tricorder in the other, and I kind of lean in and I go, "The next time you decide to go all machismo mouse, don't."
oh, I love this new doctor so much.
He is pretty great.
I love him.
Oh, dear. But yeah, Klein, being cool guy, just walks away from the explosion, and I'm assuming leaves the holodeck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Just like computer, arc, and then walk out.
Nice. And Sin will go with you, and she'll sing a few accolades for you. But
There we go.
yeah, but Bryn, yeah, you're.
But
now
he is
free.
also very beaten and battered, but up.
Yeah, up. Keyword here. So, Bryn, if you want to roll me a reason medicine at difficulty 1, I'll tell you exactly what Crowley's got going on.
All right. Medicine. Check my focuses real quick. This wouldn't be emergency medicine, would it?
I'll let it apply. It's silly, but I'll let it apply.
Okay.
All right, so someone keep track of global momentum. We're back on, global pool here. So yeah, Bryn, even though the holodeck safeties were on, you are detecting that there are some broken blood vessels, mostly where the bottle impacted his head. You're also detecting that it's not like a full-on concussion, but you're still dealing with movement of the brain, so there might be some after effects lingering, but it's nothing you can't handle.
All right, let's get you back to my office. The sick bay.
All right, and Hylong will come over and we'll help Crowley up, and we'll kind of do the arm over the shoulder carry.
Let's see. So fast recovery. That just keep me under full stress. If that kicks in after Bryn comes up to me, right?
If I remember correctly, what it does is you can roll a challenge dice.
All right.
But let me double check. Let's see. Fast recovery.
PDF page 318.
Thank you. All right, what do we got? Are we looking at the same PDF?
Of the manual, yeah, 318.
318 is a Klingon character.
Oh, no, PDF page 318. Maybe my PDF's different. 312 is the actual page number, though.
Oh, 312. Okay, that does make a difference. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Fast recovery. Yeah, so at the start of each turn, creature gains blah, 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 blah stress. Yeah, if you want to spend 2 threat to remove the injury, you certainly can, but otherwise, the stress does not get rid of your injury.
Yeah, I'll do the 2 threat just to stand up on my own and look to Bryn. I was like, go help him first. I'll be fine.
So, Bryn, it's actually rather remarkable that Crowley quite literally just shakes it off, and everything that your instruments are telling you is that thanks to the special nanomachines that he received from Andromeda, that he is healing at an accelerated rate.
All right, Commander. Well, you can take a punch. I'll give you that. You can go ahead and keep that headache, though. That's for being dumb. And I'll walk out.
Okay. Hylong will go with him and just kind of go, reminder, we got to do our fight again at some point, Crowley. And then Hylong's gone. All right.
Crowley will clean up a little bit, but then he'll load up a new program.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be just called Crowley Scenario Harlock 1.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for now.
All right. So, now that we've handled sort of the big ticket, intersession event, did anyone else have any bits of RP they wanted to get out of the way before we do the adventure proper?
Oh, I don't have anything.
Nor do I.
Alrighty. We're
No, I'm
gonna...
good.
Oh,
No, I'm good.
okay. In that case, we're going to switch to the bridge. This will be probably next Alpha ship, so day later. So you all are on the bridge. You're, doing your thing. You're on a patrol route, and if you've
Quick question, GM. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt.
No, that's fine.
With scene changes, we gain all our stress back, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, but you also do lose the momentum. So, yeah, a scene change gets rid of all injuries and all stress unless the GM decides otherwise. So yeah,
Gotcha.
you're fine.
But both of our determinations are spent.
Yeah, both your determinations are gonzo.
Oh yeah.
So as I was saying, you guys are on patrol of the Cardassian demilitarized zone, and if you've never been on patrol before, it is the most boring thing in the world. The first few hours of any start of patrol, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gung ho, I'm expecting them to come over the hill or something like that, and it just doesn't happen for hours and hours. And at some point, you're just sort of sitting there like, are they coming? And it's just that perpetual feeling of, I need to be alert, but at the same time, there's nothing that's keeping my attention. So you all kind of fall into a little bit of a lull. And it's actually a little bit of a surprise as, Tohvun, your console, or at least your chair's readout starts beeping at you.
What is it saying?
It says that there is an incoming Priority 1 message from Admiral Chivalok.
Priority 1 is Captain's Eyes only?
No, it just means you need to answer it, now.
I'll tap a few buttons to put it on the screen.
Alright, so on the screen you see a Zindi Reptilian flag officer, which you would have met on Starbase 211. This is indeed Admiral Chivalok. And he says, Captain, Starfleet Command needs you to immediately redirect the Arcadia to the neutral planet of Tohvun III. The colony's governor, Shigi Kirsagan, is reporting a series of strange events that are supposedly threatening the colony's safety. I have a dossier here somewhere, and you see him kind of fumble for a pad. Oh, yes. Seems that the children born of Tohvun are aging rapidly. Native flora and fauna are growing just as rapidly, and then wilting. And that structures that should last decades are falling apart. But to top it all off, volcanoes and other tectonic activity, which should have remained dormant for decades, if not centuries, are now showing signs of life. Now, normally, Tohvun III has remained neutral in our conflict with the Cardassians, but with the Dominion incursion and the growing war, it seems they're sort of testing to see whether the Federation or the Dominion will be the ones to solve their problems. Thus, it's very imperative, Captain, that you discover a solution to the colony's problems as soon as possible.
Understood, Admiral. I'm looking here at a map. Where would Tohvun III be?
If you were to look at the one that comes with the book, do you see Starbase 211?
Yes.
Then you want to go northwest or northeast a little bit. It's northeast, and it is in their Argolis cluster.
Okay. And then looking at what I know of current tactical deployments for Border Patrol, is there another vessel to take up our spot in the patrol?
There is not. Right now, you are stretched pretty thin, because, the DMZ is quite an expansive bit of space to cover. So you being pulled off the line does open up an opportunity that the Dominion could very well take.
Okay. Understood, Admiral. We'll begin a plan and leave en route immediately.
Very good. Keep me apprised of the situation best you can. And not to worry, I will be attempting to get some of the 6th Fleet's ships to head out and pick up your slack, but there is going to be a period of about a day and a half where that area space, we're just going to hope the Dominion don't decide to test it.
Understood. Arcadia out.
All right. The Admiral disappears from the view screen.
Tactical. Is there anything that we can leave behind in order to remotely patrol this area?
Well, let's see. is there any chance that maybe somehow we could like? I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Leave behind possibly like one of our smaller ships or like a worker bee if we have those,
I would
and attach
say,
some kind of like probe to it and do something like that, or
well, remember, you do have the Roddenberry. It
We
would have
do.
been fixed up by now. You could put someone on the Roddenberry and kick it out into space. That is probably the easiest option. Other than that, you do have a full complement of shuttles. I don't think the Arcadia has the ship talent for runabouts, but you would have Type 9s, Type 5s, Type 7s, Type
Right.
11s.
Doesn't the Sav have a yacht?
Yes, the Sovereign also has a yacht, which I think I've always given to you free. So yeah, it also has the
Yeah.
captain's yacht.
okay.
Lieutenant Klein, you gave me an idea. Perhaps we send a warp probe with the Sovereign's signature so that if the Dominion's monitoring the area, they would see our ship here and might be discouraged from crossing.
It's an excellent idea, Captain. Let's see here. Commander, would you be okay with sending out the Roddenberry to keep patrol here?
It's a fine idea, but I'm just concerned that if the Dominion want to test us, they will steamroll the Roddenberry.
Hmm.
How far
We'll give
away
the
is
Rodden-
this planet?
It's not far.
Yeah, it's not too far.
We could take the Roddenberry to the planet and leave the Arcadia here.
This is another option.
We'll leave the Roddenberry here with a capable crew, but her orders will be to reconvene with us should she find any incursion. It'll give us an advance warning of any threat, and that's its only job.
I'm just worried about her top speed.
Well, as it so happens, almost as if I hinted at this in our log, Sin is going to speak up and say, I volunteer to stay behind on the Roddenberry, sirs.
To my sense.
I don't think you've ever sensed anything from Sin, because she's a cameloid.
Okay.
Phew.
Oh. If the Roddenberry needs a full staffing, you're going to need its best pilot. And Janice,
Yes, sir.
I think you drive starships better than you do runabouts. So, with your permission, Captain, I'll stay on the Roddenberry as well.
Permission granted.
Now, I'm not going to say no to this, of course, but I will say that any character that's going to be left on the Roddenberry might not exactly have a whole lot to do for the rest of the session, just so you're aware.
It sounds like a science thing, so Crowley has no training in science or medical, so
True, but you still would be the main away team leader for whoever decides to go down.
I'm sure Klein can handle it.
Okay, well,
Oh,
we've heard it from the mouth. So, Klein,
Yeah.
you have the big bucks here, and Crowley, I guess you're
boy.
just gonna have to choose. I guess in Crothers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sin and Crowley, the two of you head down to the Roddenberry, and shortly thereafter, the Roddenberry is launched out into space and resumes the Arcadia's patrol. And unless I hear otherwise, I'm going to assume that Janice sort of turns the Arcadia towards Tohvun III and engages at the captain's command.
Lieutenant Janice, once course is set, engage at maximum speeds.
Very well, sir. And I do my little dance across the console and push the button.
All right. So the Arcadia jumps to warp, and as everything is at warp, I'd like someone to roll me a reason science for Hylong, please.
We can do that.
Good. I haven't been having good luck today, so. It'll be fine.
Any particular difficulty?
Difficulty 1. So super easy, hopefully gives you momentum task.
Does she have an available focus?
I would say she does. I see green. All right, yeah, you guys get 2 momentum. So, Hailong sort of looks at the information on her console and says, well, sir, I've done a little bit of looking up of Tohvun III in the database. I can report that it is a pleasant, if somewhat cold and damp planet on the Federation frontier. It's mainly an outpost for traders and tourists interested in trekking the forested slopes of Mandara, a inactive volcano that is I believe it's double the size of Mount Everest, so it's quite the pull for tourists. It's also worth noting, sir, that this planet was the site for peace talks in the Federation Cardassian War. It's also where the Federation Cardassian Armistice of 2367 was signed. Our records show that Cardassia still has an embassy on Tohvun III, but that it's expected to be retrofitted for an incoming Vorta delegation for the Dominion. And I don't know how much of this, or the rest of this information is useful to you, sir, but I'll say it anyway. If it matters, the system itself has a Sol-like star. It has 2 planets that are too close to the star to be habitable. And then beyond Tohvun III are several gas giants and a series of small icy planetoids. It's only Tohvun III that is within the habitable zone. And that's pretty much everything that our records are showing at the moment.
Lieutenant Klein, looking at these records, is there any tactical importance to this planet in the Dominion War aside from the embassy?
Let's see here. Whoosh. None that I could personally think of other than the embassy, Captain.
Population on the planet?
The population is about 1 million at the moment, sir.
Let's get science departments looking through the dossier from the Admiral, see if there's anything that could be causing the accelerated, you said it was growth of crops, or?
Growth of kids, growth of crops, and structural collapse.
As well as increased geological activity.
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds like-
I'd like to get science working on that. What were you saying?
Oh no, it's like out of character. Like that sounds like some kind of temporal distortion, but we'll let science work that out.
Just let me know if I need to remake the array or anything.
Oh boy. All right. So unless anyone has anything they want to do in the meantime, we're just going to sort of move at the speed of plot and say that after several hours of travel time, you finally arrive in the Tohvun system. And if someone would care to roll for both Hailong and the ship, Hailong is doing another reason science. The ship is doing sensors science. And the difficulty here will be a 2. And that's after accounting for your advanced sensors.
Let's go ahead and use some of that momentum for a 3rd die for Hailong.
Okay.
Janice, you want to roll for the ship?
Yeah, I can roll for the ship. What am I rolling for the ship?
Sensor science.
Sensor science. Okay. Sensor science.
Applicable focus for Hailong?
She has sensor operations, so yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Well, that's quite a bit of a momentum gaining there, but let's see how much the ship might give you. All right, so that's a grand total of 3 momentum back for you. Nice. So, Hailong, kind of looks at the readouts and tilts her head to the side quizzically and says, "Well, I don't have anything concrete, sir, but I am detecting some sort of low-level interference that is affecting our scans of the system, but I can't pinpoint the source of this interference anywhere. I can? No, that's not right. Sorry, sir. I thought I was able to tell what type of interference. It's almost as if someone's blasting white noise and it's interfering with our sensors. Sorry, I wish I had more information, but sadly I don't.
Is there any power structure on the planet that could be generating this much white noise?
Well, I can at least confirm, sir, that it's not being generated on the planet. It's somewhere in this system, I think.
Okay.
If I wanted to try and scan for that, would that be increased difficulty because of the interference, or?
Yes, and I would say it is a... how do I want to say this? It is not something you can scan for without spending 2 momentum to create an advantage. And
Okay.
even then, we're talking a difficulty 5 task to narrow it down.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I won't attempt that then.
Yeah, it's
What
one of
if
those
I-
things where
Right.
the way this adventure is written, and just, for sake of clarity, I sort of have cannibalized a pre-written one for our own sort of adventure. This particular adventure, it's set that, sure, you could find the source of the or the interference, but it does cut out like half of the adventure, so
Right.
I
Okay,
have to
fair
gate
enough.
it appropriately.
Fair enough.
It's those fucking Romulans.
It's always the Romulans. All right,
Of course
so
it is.
after a few moments of you being in the system, Janice, you are getting coordinates from Tohvun III's traffic control, and they look to be a set of beam down coordinates.
Lieutenant Klein, assemble an away team. I'd like you to take Ensign Los with you, and
Yep.
anyone else you see fit. Hailong, I'd like you to stay on the bridge and keep working on the source of this interference.
Aye, sir.
Alright, so let's see. So we've got Los Crothers. Oh boy. Janice, would you want to come down as Janice, or would you want to take a supporting character?
I have pretty good security, so I could be part of the security team. just
Okay.
in case.
So we'll do, see, myself, Los, Crothers, Janice. Hyde, would you rather go as yourself, or is there a supporting character you want to take?
You
No.
could probably use a geologist on this mission.
Did we lose Hyde?
Hello.
I am here. I was distracted for a moment.
Oh, not a problem.
My mother texted me, apparently.
Gotcha.
Ah.
Would you rather go as Hyde, or would you want to go as yourself? Hyde or a supporting character?
I'm tempted by a support character because I don't think engineering is going to be a major issue.
I
Right.
would say that the fact that buildings are collapsing and
That is true.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
go as
say-
Hyde then.
I would say particularly what I know of your backstory, Hyde, that this is something that would definitely be in your wheelhouse.
All right, I'll go as Hyde. I'll take your advice for once in my life.
Let's see here. I would assume that before we beam down, we're probably running scans for Dominion ships, correct?
Oh yeah, that's standard protocol at this point.
At this point, does the Dominion include the Borg as well? I can't remember.
Oh no.
Okay. Due to our last encounter with our good old friend Harlock,
Mm-hmm.
and due to this is like temporal stuff, I'm guessing in Klein's head, I would also like the ship to be running scans for Borg ships, and would we have anything that would be able to alert us to Harlock's Arcadia?
If it literally shows up, I'm sure 1,000 warning klaxons will sound.
Okay, because I assume we wouldn't have like any traces of like the warp trails from our first encounter, correct?
No, the ship disappeared during the
That's
momentary
right.
bubble. So, yeah, you're at a loss if it's even still in your reality.
Okay, so in that case, just for Borg ships, and if Harlock shows up, let us know.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, with the away team assembled, you all beam down to the planet, and as the shimmering blue energy dissipates and you're able to see your surroundings, you find yourselves in a small grove of dark pine trees with several stone paths that branch off in several directions. Most seem to lead elsewhere in the colony, and it does seem that you've beamed not into like a busy square, but some almost I would call it a offshoot of say a garden. And the main path, or at least the path that is most prominent, leads up to a very large home that has sort of faux wood and other sorts of frontier trappings. And a middle-aged man of Mongolian descent who speaks with a accent that is very similar to Earth England approaches you with a concerned look on his face. And I'm not going to even attempt the accent, so just have to think about it.
Sure.
He says, you arrived quicker than I imagined. I am Shigi Kirsagan, the governor of this colony. Normally I would offer you a tour, but the situation here is growing worse.
Of course. Good lord. Repeat the name for me.
Kirsagan.
Kirsagan?
Kirsagan.
Okay. Well, Governor Kirsagan. Oh, we did forget to bring Bryn.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Bryn. We need to get Bryn
I completely forgot. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
All right, Bryn, did you want to bring anyone?
You mean with me?
Well, I mean, if you're going yourself, that answers my question.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd probably go myself.
Okay. All right. So let's get Bryn in.
Okay.
There we go. All is good.
Okay.
Bryn has always been here.
Well, Governor Kirsagan, I am Lieutenant Junior Grade Klein of the USS Arcadia. I've assembled this away team here to hopefully find the source of your problem, and hopefully, if we can find it, get rid of it. We didn't see him at first.
Well, I certainly hope that you'll be able to help us. I mean, it's either you or the Dominion at this point, and honestly, even though I'm supposed to be impartial about this, I would rather it be the Federation. But, we have several places that I think you're going to want to see. There is a particular household, the Mackleys, where their child, Efren, has been... Well, I think it's best if you see it for yourself.
Lead the way, Governor.
All right, this way, please. And he leads you off to the colony, or off deeper into the colony, and you sort of see people passing. They're sort of garbed in traditional frontier clothing, which means you're not seeing Starfleet uniforms. You're sort of seeing, whatever's comfortable, or whatever's practical for the given task or situation. Mm-hmm. And eventually, you come to a rather humble-looking abode. It is what I would describe as a condo, as in it is one unit that is split into four. And Kirsagan goes up to one of the ground floor units and rings the doorbell. And after a moment, a tall, broad-shouldered human greets him at the door. And he kind of looks past you and says, is this Starfleet? And Kirsagan says, yes, we're here to see Efren. And the man sort of shakes his head and says, well, come on in. And I'm assuming you all go in?
I want to do something, though, on the walk.
What are you doing?
On the walk there, I want to scan the plant life.
Okay. We'll do you, then we'll get to hide. So go ahead and roll me a reason science. And difficulty 1 here, I would say.
I want to examine if there's any potential bioengineering that's causing this. Will my focus apply for that?
Sure. All right. So good news, bad news. Good news, you got a momentum. Bad news, you're not detecting any bioengineering at work here. Whatever is causing the plant life and, well, whatever is causing a lot of things on this planet does not seem to be the result of, say, genes going wrong.
Yeah.
Don't forget that 3 momentum that we got earlier, too.
Yeah, so you should be at a total of 5, I believe.
Is that right?
But yeah, Hyde, you had something, I think.
I did. We were invited into a building on a planet where buildings are falling apart. I'm checking it for structural integrity before I go in.
Very sound course of action. If you could roll me a reason engineering at difficulty 1.
Only one die, I believe, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Standard is 2.
Ah, you are correct. There we go.
Well, again, good news, bad news. Good news. The structure appears to be made out of the same stuff that starship hulls are made out of, as do most buildings here. That is titanium for anyone playing Technobabble at home. And you're pretty sure that titanium alloys is able to hold up pretty well against even the ravages of time. Bad news, you are detecting that there is already some level of decay within the structure, but it's not to the point where you need to worry about, say, a collapse in.
Okay, so just don't fire phasers needlessly.
No
I've seen
taken
worse.
On the way over here, Los wanted to scan for possibly any camouflaged Jem'Hadar.
Okay, that's
and
going to
he-
be reason.
he reduced- I just reduced the difficulty by 1 because of constantly watching.
Right. Reason, security, difficulty 4. Because to my knowledge, the Federation at this point doesn't exactly have a shroud pinpointing technology.
Right. I'm going to add 1 to threat because of my bold security.
Okay.
And I don't think I have an applicable focus unless infiltration.
I'd let it happen here, sure.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Ooh,
that's
I see
2
green.
green.
That's a lot.
All right, so you get a momentum. I believe you are capped at this point.
Yeah.
And Los, and I'm going to say this very clearly, you do not detect any Dominion in the immediate area.
The guy who's escorting us, I'll ask him. Speaking of the Dominion, have any of these effects been inflicted upon the Cardassian members at the embassy as well?
To my knowledge, no, but the Cardassians have been keeping to themselves ever since the war started. It suits us just fine, and we, as you may know, we prefer to stay neutral where possible. My guess is that they're preparing for their new Vorta overlords to show up, which, speaking of, and he kind of looks at whatever the Star Trek equivalent of a wristwatch is, and he says, they actually should be arriving within the next 12 hours, I believe.
As we're getting close to the house, or like in that timeline, Carruthers is just gonna slowly peter back of the whole entire marching line. I think he's at the very end, and then he's just gonna stop, and he's gonna communicate to the Arcadia. Carruthers to Captain Tohvun.
Acknowledged.
Uh,
Captain Don.
If I could get 3 microprobes launched into the atmosphere, 1 low orbit, mid-range, and high orbit, and have the information tethered to my tricorder, I wish to examine time delays, make sure that there's no possibility of any messing around with chronotons, and also to catch air samples as well at different altitudes to see if there's any bacterial differences.
Understood. We'll get that underway immediately.
Thank you. And then he'll catch up.
Okay.
All right.
Now we're going to the building, maybe.
Someone just report back to the Arcadia that the Vorta are expected within 12 hours. I guess Los could do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if
Send it
anything
up.
else,
Well,
Los will do it.
I'll probably do it, seeing as I'm the head of the away team of this mission.
All right. So you've communicated that fact up to the Arcadia, Tohvun. Did you do anything, I don't know, rash or?
I acknowledge it, and we continue the mission.
Okay, noted. All right. Now that you're inside, that you're in this lovely couple's home, you see the gentleman I described before, the sort of tall, broad-shouldered guy built like a linebacker. You see him, and you see a human. They're both human. You see a human woman, and she has long red hair, and she is carrying what looks to be a 6-year-old, but the 6-year-old is babbling like an infant. And the gentleman says, Starfleet, and he puts a hand on his chest. My name is Wes, and this is my wife, Aurelia, and our son, Ephron. We're very relieved that you came. All the doctors here are at a loss, and we're hoping we can get the Starfleet's aid rather than the minions. And it's immediately obvious, without like needing inside checks, that both Wes and his wife Aurelia are very relieved that you're here, but that the child you're seeing is the source of their concern. Like there's no ulterior motives here that you're detecting.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Going on in
approach.
Tohvun III yet?
Say again?
Oh no. How do we know how long this has been going on Tohvun III?
Well, you could certainly ask.
Do you know how long this has been happening?
With my son or overall?
Overall, if you can, and then with your son.
Well, about 6 months ago was when my son was born, and he immediately started showing signs that something was wrong. I don't know, with the colony, and he looks over at Kirsagan, and Kirsagan shrugs and says, 6 months does kind of line up with what we know so far. It was about that time that people started reporting strange events happening.
Huh.
This child is 6 months old.
Yes, Ephron here was literally born 6 months ago.
All right, I'll approach and start doing a scan. Has this, I guess, aging, has it increased at all, or has it been going at the same steady, accelerated rate?
It seems to have been constant. All the doctors thought that it might have been progeria, I should say. But he tested negative for the disorders, so they have no idea what's causing his rapid growth. They think he's where he should be mentally, but as you can see, his body is just out of sync.
Is he the only one that's experiencing this?
And Kirsagan sort of chips in and says, he is not the only individual in the colony that is experiencing it. However, his is the most severe.
Did you have satellites in orbit, right? To watch for weather patterns, to alert you for any storms or any intense moving weather fronts, right?
We do, yes.
May I have access to those, please?
Sure. If you'll join me over here, I'll give you the access codes. And he sort of moves you over to the side, and I believe, Bryn, if you would care to give me a reason medicine. Again, difficulty 1.
Okay.
Los will nod at Klein and will accompany Carruthers.
Alrighty.
Do I happen to have a focus that would help out here?
Do you have... Let me check. Yes, you will have something that applies here.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm going to take threat for that, because I feel like this is crucial information.
How much threat do you have?
You don't want to know.
Oh, no.
Bryn, the tricorder scan that you do of Ephron does confirm the fact that, that he indeed is a 6-month-old trapped in a 6-year-old body, and that he does not have the rare genetic disorder that causes rapid aging, also known as progeria. You're also guessing, based on what you're seeing and what you've been told, that this condition is going to persist at its current rate, which means that for every month that passes, Ephron's body will age a year, which means he'll die of old age in less than 100 months at best if nothing is done.
Does there seem to be any sign of? I mean, what is it that I'm seeing? Are the cells? Are they like accelerated, or is it on a cellular level, or is it like they? Or is there like some sort of entropy happening, or are the cells decaying?
I would say it's a little bit of both, and if you want to spend a momentum, I will answer that question.
Yeah, I'd like to spend a momentum on that.
Okay. So what you're seeing is sort of like a reverse Benjamin Button, where the cells are, rather than repairing themselves, they are rapidly burning out. Like their metabolism is way higher than it should be, so that causes them to burn out and otherwise, kind of advance in age at a much quicker rate. Strangely, the sort of increased metabolism is not increased Ephron's overall metabolism. It just seems to be at a cellular level that the entire biological process has been accelerated.
Okay.
And you are getting trace amounts of tachyon radiation.
Right. Carruthers,
Yes.
take a look at these readings.
One second, please.
I swear it's more awkward than an evening of Klingon interpretive dance.
I can hear you,
Oh, sorry.
and yes, I would agree.
But yeah, Crothers, Kirsagan would have gotten you connected into the weather network for whatever you wanted to look for.
So the weather network typically has a satellite aimed down at the planet, typically in an area to look for any possible storms. Basically, it's an eye in the sky. And if this eye in the sky has been operating since this colony has been here, or been set up at least, it should have at least 6 months of information.
It does, yes.
I want to scroll back to 6 months and then start looking for the first signs of decay. Rapid decay. If
Okay.
this has been happening to plants and buildings and people.
And I'm going to I'll ask the mother if she was doing anything unusual or was maybe in a different location about 6 months ago. There has to be some sort of reason why this child specifically is a worse case than some of the others.
I mean, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I gave birth to Ephron at the hospital, where I don't think I need to tell you, we weren't the only ones at the hospital. As you can see, we live in a condo, so it's not just our condo.
Is he? Have you changed your diet? I mean, to put it indelicately, were you breastfeeding?
Aren't you supposed to? You're supposed to, aren't you?
Okay, was your diet different 6 months ago?
No, it's been the same. Well, I mean, obviously I'm eating the things I should, but, it's not like I'm suddenly heavily drinking or anything.
Where are you procuring your food from?
Same place everyone in the colony does. We have
Okay.
replicators here.
Carruthers, I'm picking up slight bits of tachyon radiation from the child.
Oh, what?
So I don't know if that's going to change anything with the scans that you're doing.
Maybe.
Doctors, with your permission, I could inspect the replicators to see if that is a source of tachyon radiation.
Well, why are you just standing there?
All right, I will go inspect them.
All right.
I was going to have to apologize out of character for being so grumpy in character.
Oh no, it's great.
If Carruthers can, he would like to request backup communications to the Arcadia.
Okay.
Carruthers to Hi Long.
How long here? What can I do for you?
It's excellent to hear you. I want to link data to the Arcadia. If you could assist me in searching for patterns of decay or tachyon radiation with the sensors data I'm about to give you.
All right, go ahead.
And I'll transfer the data to her, or link up the ships, and then Crothers, with some assistance, will be looking for through the records the first sign of decay.
All right, I need you to roll me a insight science for you.
All right.
Excuse me.
Now, quick question.
Yes.
This is the time where Crothers is being used. I get to add a talent to him, correct?
A talent, a focus, or you can adjust his attributes and disciplines by 1. There's a whole lot of things you could do to him.
I would like to add cautious science to him.
All right, go ahead. But what was I saying? So yes, you are going to be rolling an insight science. Hai Long, someone will need to roll for her. She's also rolling insight science. And then the Arcadia is going to be rolling a computers in science. And the overall difficulty will be a 3.
All right, and he's using the computer. Would the computer's focus apply?
I'd let it happen, sure.
Yes.
Will any of Hai Long's focuses apply?
They will indeed.
I forgot to declare cautious science, but it's okay.
Well, it's just if you spend momentum, it happens.
Yeah. All right, and we just need to get a computers engineering from the ship.
Ensign Hyde?
Maybe
What
you'll
was
get
that?
lucky.
Yeah, hi. Do you want to do the roll for the ship?
I haven't been having good luck with my dice today, but I'll take the risk.
All right, computers engineering.
Let me open up the sheet.
You never know. Could be a natural 1, which would be a good thing.
Would there be an applicable focus here?
Oh yeah, the ship always has an applicable focus.
Ah, yes.
All right, well, there's your 3 successes that you need. So the 3 of you working together, Hai Long, Crothers, and the Arcadia, you are able to determine a sort of timeline. It's true to the colonists' word. About 6 months ago, a sort of, I wouldn't call it a plague, but sort of a change started to sweep across the colony in that you start to see that gardens and other flora and fauna are basically sprouting up overnight, growing to maturity, and then wilting by the end of the next day. You're also seeing that several buildings are quite literally just collapsing in on themselves when they were just fine days, if not hours before. And you're also detecting, because this would be all part of the same network, that the volcanoes, the nearest tectonic plate, has begun shifting a little bit. Not enough to do anything major, but it is probably why volcanoes and other sorts of tectonic activity are being reported.
So, where would have been ground zero?
There, strangely, is not a ground zero, and that's probably something that would seem odd to you. It seems to be very random in the way that this is being applied, and there's no real rhyme or reason to what it targets, whatever it is.
Prez is just gonna look up at the ceiling and then start muttering to himself. See that? No, maybe?
What's the difficulty of the roll to check the replicators to see if they are causing anything?
If Hyde assists you, that's going to be a simple reason engineering. And the difficulty would only be we'll make it a 1. Why not?
Okay, I've got a focus, so I'll apply that, and then Hyde can assist.
All right. All right, Hyde. Let's see if we get any momentum.
We are already maxed too, which is nice.
Did we lose Hyde?
What am I rolling here?
Who's
Hyde.
muted?
Hyde. No,
Oh.
it's Hyde herself that's rolling.
Oh, okay.
I was muted.
Yeah,
That's reason plus engineering, you
that
said?
is correct. Yes. Hey, look
Ooh.
at that. Hyde coming out of the gate. All right.
All right.
So,
I'm going to be less paranoid about my dice now.
Yeah. So you have, I believe, 2 floating momentum to spend on additional questions. So Los, you give the replicators with Hyde's help. You give them a once over, and mechanically, everything checks out. None of the components seem to be giving off any radiation they shouldn't be. However, when you reassemble the thing and put it back together and you fire it back up, the computer that sort of controls it reports that it has been in operation for 3 years since its last check-in.
So it thinks that it's 3 years in the future?
Something
Kind of.
like that, yeah.
Okay. Huh. I will report this data back, but I think it's safe to conclude that the effect between the geology and the people is connected and is not a coincidence.
It couldn't be a virus because it's affecting the computers as well. There's something. It definitely seems temporal to me. For
I was
extra
going to
questions,
suggest-
though,
Oh, yeah.
because we do have another 2 questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Purely about the replicator, I wanna watch its clock essentially, or maybe tell it to continuously feed its clock to my tricorder. See if I can't just keep an eye on it and see if I can see it accelerating at any point.
Well, the moment you do slave the countdown and you take account of it, it's almost as if its clock is running at about 5 times speed. So it's, keeping track of regular time, but at the same time, it's doing so at such an accelerated rate that is different from your own sort of passage of time.
Dr. Bren, when studying my medical requirements at Starfleet Academy, I remembered the research into the plague on Earth, and they would triangulate a source point by looking at the severity of the disease, and they pinpointed it to a particular well. They said that this child has been affected the most. Perhaps we could find a spot for using this data.
Right, which is why I was trying to ask the mother if she had changed her diet or if she had gone, if she was hanging out in a different location at the time. I'll continue to try to figure out why this child specifically is aging more rapidly than the others.
Are there any other? I'll turn to the people now.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other children who are being also more affected than other children? I know that he's the most.
I mean, yes, there are some, but again, it's not on the same scale here. It's a matter of months rather than say years. But it is still odd.
Is it only the children that are affected, or is it affecting adults as well?
I'd like you to roll me a reason medicine at difficulty 1.
So you said reason
Medicine.
Okay. Did I have a
focus?
Focus?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I would like you all, as Bryn is going to realize this, I'd like you all to roll 1d6 plus 1, and that is how many months more you've been alive.
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
So, would that just be what, like is it? I can't remember. Is it slash roll or slash R in roll
Slash
20?
R, and then
R.
space 1d6 plus 1.
Yes, max roll.
3.
What's my tricorder reading with the 3 probes in orbit?
I'll get to that in a moment.
Let's see. So who are we? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So Los is 4 months older than he should be. Bryn, you're 7 months older. Klein, you're 3. Janice, you're 4, and then whatever Hyde rolls, she will be that.
Put me on the spot. Just another reason engineering, maybe, or maybe insight.
Nah. Just 1d6 plus 1.
Oh, I see.
All right, so 4 months. So actually, that's actually interesting how that showed up. I think the median is a 4-month discrepancy, with Bryn being the oldest. But yeah, Bryn, you so notice this on your tricorder, and at the same time, Carruthers, you're noticing that the probes are out of sync. And by that I mean one is consistently reporting at a slower rate, and another is reporting at a faster rate. And try as you might to get them to sync up, they're just not doing so.
Oh, I'm glad they're not synced up. I want to find out which is the one that's having a faster rate. Because I had them in 3 different altitudes, a high, medium, and low.
I would say the lowest one is the fastest.
And the highest one is closest to normal?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Well, I've got some bad news for all of you. I'm sure you were looking forward to that. We've all aged faster since we've come down to the planet already.
Fascinating.
I checked yourself for gray hairs.
It's up to you if you have gray hairs or not.
No, she is pretty young still.
Are we in a valley?
Yeah, you're sort of in a valley.
That could explain the your son's accelerated growth compared to other children.
What was the gentleman that gave me access to the computers?
Governor Kirsagon.
Governor, do you happen to have any seismic tools?
I do, yes, they are. I was actually going to take you to the scientific center after we were done here.
Could I get access to those?
Of course, but yeah, as I said, we'll have to go to the scientific center for that.
Excellent. I would like to go now. If that's okay for everyone else.
I'm fine with that.
I just wonder how long non-essential people should stay on the planet's surface. If we've already aged several months in just the short time that we've been here, we might want to limit the length of time that we're here until we figure this out.
We should also consider evacuating the population until we are able to identify the problem and solve it.
I think we shouldn't. I think we should be placed into quarantine until we find out for sure. This could be airborne. If we beam anyone back to the ship, we're going to contaminate the vessel. And that's in space. If the materials decompose, all breachers. I think we have to stay until we figure it out.
Well, we better figure it out quickly.
It's a shame none of us are a Vulcan. We could live a lot longer.
How troubling.
So, the couple just sort of looks at you all and says, not to be rude or anything, but is there anything you can do for our son?
We're working on that.
Well,
Once we identify the source of the issue, we might find a way to reverse it as well. Though it may be the case that we can't reverse it. We're not sure yet.
Well, I mean, you seem to know what you're doing, at least more than the doctors around here do. So I guess we'll just have to put our faith in you.
We'll do our best.
And they sort of bow their heads and say their thanks. And Kirsagan, being the governor, does see that as the opportunity to sort of shepherd you all out of the place unless any of you wanted to stay.
I would like to get a group of some of the individuals that have been affected the most together so that I can start doing comparative scans.
Okay. That can certainly happen. And as you communicate this requirement to Kirsagan, and he's working with his communicator, he says, well, I suppose this would be interesting news for you all. The Dominion delegation will be here in exactly 2 hours. I don't know if you wish to interface with them at all, but I will need to split off with you after I drop you off at the scientific center to go meet them.
Have days and nights become shorter on the planet? Has the planet been rotating more quickly?
No, seems to be the same as usual.
Governor, I believe you said we had 12 hours. Did they expedite their travel time?
Seems that way, yes.
I'll alert the Arcadia.
Yeah, well, up on the Arcadia, as I was going to say, Hylong would have reported at this point that she is detecting a Jem'Hadar battlecruiser at near maximum warp headed towards the direction of Tohvun III. And the only reason it's been allowed across the border is because it is flying, metaphorically anyway, it is flying diplomatic colors, which means that firing on it would be a breach of war.
Do it.
No, we'll be on yellow alert.
All right. And unfortunately,
That
ladies
would
and
not be
gentlemen,
a good idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are kind of at the stop time I mentioned at the top of the session. So I think this is where we're going to take our two-parter. Maybe give you guys some time to think about ways to track down whatever's going on. So players, stick around for a little bit longer if you can. But to those watching on Twitch and on YouTube, thank you for watching our little short session today. And Adiona will be meeting this Tuesday, hopefully. But after that, I will be on break until the Ophion on the 8th. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye-bye.